everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Holly. Hope everyone's having a great day. Today I'm doing a fall DIY. It's taken me a while to get this one started and done. It just hasn't felt like fall here yet, but I finally went ahead and started it and finished it, so I thought I would share. Now, I'm using two different types of leaves, and I believe it's 6 each of those different colors, and the 14-inch wreath. And I like the fact that it was already painted, so I didn't have to paint that. And I'm also using these little wood sayings, and it comes in a pack, I think it was 6 of Harvest DIY words, so you have a variety to choose from. So I'm going to use that one. And they have a pack of these leaves also that you can use. And I found this little guy and I thought he was really cute. That would be a cute addition to this wreath. I'm also going to use this antique walnut stain and the foam brush, but you can absolutely use any form of paint or stain that you would like. And I'm going to do that with this wooden leaf. Now I took some pipe cleaners and I just cut those into little pieces so that way it would just be easier to work with. Now just make sure that you protect your surface if you're going to use stain or paint. And that's all I did here, was just add 1 coat of this walnut stain, and I just wanted it to just have some color to it. And I did this first because I knew I would have to let this dry before I did anything else with it. So just if you're going to paint that or anything, just do that first, so that way you can put that on the side to let it dry. And I decided to leave the words just as is. I wanted it to contrast with that color. And the next step, if you want, you can cut the stem off. I just decided for time I would just go ahead and leave it on. So you want to just kind of play with the leaves a little bit, or the flowers, whatever you use to put on this, and just to spread it out a little bit. But I just stick that little stem through and I bend the end of the stem so that way it kind of forms with the wreath. And then all I'm going to do is take the pipe cleaners and just tie it to adhere it to the base of this wreath form. That way it doesn't move around and it's not loose. So that's all you're really doing, is just trying to adhere it to that base. And I just put a few in different spots and it worked fine. Now I'm going to use another stem of leaves, a different color, and you want to put it at the base of the last one you did to cover up the pipe cleaner, but also to cover up any gaps that may show from the wreath form. And you're just going to basically do the same thing that you just did and bend the stem and put the pipe cleaner in different spots where it would hold onto that wreath form. And it would be good if you can get the pipe cleaners to match the color that you're using, just so that way it blends in. I was unable to do that. They only had the white ones when I went, so I just made the best of it, and it worked out pretty good. Now all you're going to do is just alternate the rest of the leaves or flowers, whatever you're using. And I'm just, like I said, alternating the colors and just fluff them up as you go. That way it kind of gives you a fullness in the wreath. And that is basically it. I mean, this is really, really easy to do. Anybody can do this. If I can do this, you can do this if you've never made a wreath before. and that's all I'm doing, just alternating that. And that's what it'll look like when it's done for that part of it. Now the burlap leaves come with this little piece on the back, but all I did was pull it off, and it was really easy. It's just hot glued to it, and actually some of them were falling off, so it was easy to take off. But I'm going to take the hot glue gun and I'm going to put just some hot glue in different little spots and glue that to the leaf. And this hot glue gun I've had for over 25 years, I think. My dad gave me this hot glue gun about 5 years before he passed away, because he knew I liked to do crafts. I'm sorry. But anyway, I treasure that hot glue gun. I'm thankful that it still works today. Okay, I took this, the little welcome fall sign, and I'm just going to hot glue that to that leaf. And I didn't want to paint it or anything. I just kind of wanted it to have a contrast between that stain and the maroon looking leaf. And as usual with hot glue, you do need to kind of pull the little strings off. And I use this little tool that I actually bought from Dollar Tree that I use for my Cricut machine, and I just kind of get in between the letters and stuff. This makes it so much easier to get those little pieces of glue, hot glue, off of there. Now I want to add this wooden leaf to the front of the wreath, so all I'm going to do is take the string that they already have on it and take a piece of pipe cleaner, and I will twist it around that string. That way it stops it from sliding. And then once I have that on there securely, I will turn the wreath over. Then I will take the pipe cleaner and just twist it onto the wreath form, and that way it will stay secure there. I was trying to decide where I wanted to put this little guy on here, and I was debating on whether or not to either hot glue it down or use the string that they had on it by using like a pipe cleaner to attach it to the base of the wreath. But the more and more I looked at it, and I think about these things a lot before I go ahead and do something that I can't redo. So I realized it was going to move around too much. So I decided just to clip that piece of string off and just go with my first thought, which was to just hot glue it onto the wreath. You just have to make sure you use enough hot glue because this has a little weight to it. Not much, but just a little bit. So you want to make sure you have enough hot glue to where it's not going to fall off. And this is what it looked like when it was done, and I think it turned out really cute. I probably will go back and fool with the leaves a little bit, just to spread it out a little more, but I think it gives you the feel of fall, definitely. And I just hope that you enjoyed this part of the video, and I'm going to show you how I made this next DIY. Now I got this pumpkin from Dollar Tree along with the leaves, the words, phrases, and this little, I don't know what you would call it, little palette, I guess, or a coaster type piece of wood. And I also have, these are paints that I already had, so I just went ahead and used these. That's the Waverly chalk paint in ivory, and I believe that one's in truffle. And I just had the orange and the brown on hand. Usually I like to use apple barrel, but I need to restock on a lot of that. But you're just going to need some paint brushes, And the first thing you will do is, I took the string off because I'm not going to use this to hang anything, and you can save that little piece of string for scrap for another project. Now I started painting the pumpkin in orange, and I make sure that I get into the cracks a little bit so that way you don't see that board that's holding it together. But you can use any color. You don't even have to paint this orange. You can paint it white, green, whatever color you want. That's why I like DIYs. It's your choice, it's your imagination. And I just painted that stem and then painted the words in the ivory. And the leaf, I also painted that one brown. And if you do use the wooden words, you want to make sure that you paint the sides and everything too, because you will see that. Now I'm just going to glue the leaf down where I feel like it needs to be positioned. And this is no right or wrong, you just put it where you want. And once that's glued down, position your wording, the little wood words. And then I took that piece, that palette piece, put some hot glue on that because I wanted this to stand up, and just put that at the base and just let it sit for a minute to adhere to it. And that gives you a little bit of a stand, so that way you can just turn it around and you see the front. Now I also decided I wanted some raffia on this. I felt like it needed more dimension, and I think it turned out really cute. And you can do this with anything by adding a little piece on the back just to have it stand up, so it doesn't always have to be something that you have to have hanging. I don't always, want to do that, so this is really easy to do, very simple, definitely fallish design. And I hope that y'all enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're interested in seeing more videos like it, I ask that you would please click that subscribe button and the notification bell. That will notify you when I post new videos. I thank y'all so much for watching, and I hope everyone has a blessed day.